Hi traders, thanks for stopping by thetradinganalyst.com. This is Taylor and we're going to take a look at a bunch of charts here and I'm going to give you my analysis and thought process, and the idea is to help you navigate the market. But first, if you're not already a member, go ahead and visit the homepage of the website www.thetradinganalyst.com and you can get to know us a little bit better. We've got the text alerts, email alerts, watch lists and member videos, and an education from yours truly. All of this you're going to get as soon as you sign up for the membership. And if you scroll down a little bit further, you can get a little more detailed picture of what your membership will be like. And if you scroll down a little bit further, you can see what our current members are saying about the membership. And if you scroll all the way down to the bottom, you can choose either the monthly access or the lifetime access. It's a great opportunity and we'd love to have you as a member. All right, so let's get into these charts here. First one I want to take a look at, I just want to review UGA. We did a video on it just the other day. We noticed the breakout over this resistance on this day right here with some heavy volume, and you can see that it is continuing higher. Remember that resistance at about 25.50 from the lows of these several candles right here. You can see that that's resistance. So just be aware, we may take a little bit of a pause there once we get to that level. So just be aware of that resistance because we are heading to that direction. Congratulations if you took that trade. It's working out beautifully. All right, next one I want to take a look at is CTRN. CTRN, you can see here that we had a big breakout over this resistance here. You can see many times getting rejected at about $18. Finally, we broke over that. Another resistance we broke over is this one right here, just above $19. We closed above that level. So might see some consolidation, but overall this looks like it could potentially head higher. I really want to see it hold about $19 in order for it to hold higher. But just be aware, we're over this resistance level. And then we've got this resistance level up here, about $21. There's quite a bit of resistance. If you scroll back here from the highs of these candles, and this candle right there that almost hit that. So just be aware of everything that's going on with this chart. Next one I want to look at is CTRV. CTRV, another high volume breakout. You can see that we broke over this downtrend line right here, kind of a sideways trading pattern right here. And we broke out of that channel on some heavy volume that you can see down here. So I expect CTRV to be heading higher. May not be tomorrow or the next day, but this volume is something that you want to be aware of, okay? Next, I want to take a look at CUR. In CUR, you can see that we broke over this downtrend line right there. You can see this downtrend line has been holding CUR down for quite some time, and you can see that we had a nice high volume breakout just the other day, and right here we're just kind of consolidating. So I expect a bounce off of 22 or so, 22 cents to get a bounce. If we break too far below that, below about 20 cents, I'm not really going to like it, but definitely some good risk versus reward here. I think if it does end up popping and bouncing from 22, that we can hit that 37-cent mark again up here. And remember that that's going to be big resistance. As you can see, we've gotten rejected at it several times before. So just be aware of that. I like it for a long. I think it's going to be heading higher, but there is resistance ahead of us. Next, we're going to take a look at CZR. CZR, you want to be looking at volume here. Look at the volume that we had on this day right here. Heavy volume, one of the biggest volume days of the entire year. Again, we have another high volume day. This is a bullish engulfing candle right here. I'm looking for CZR to be heading higher. We've got this uptrend line as well that you want to be aware of. So just be aware of that. Another thing that you want to be aware of is this resistance up here at about 875. As you can see here, we've gotten rejected several times at 875. So just be aware of these two things. Uptrend line, resistance up there, and you can play with those levels at your disposal. Next, I want to take a look at DUK. And DUK, you can see here, we broke this uptrend line right here. You can see that bounce, almost a bounce here, and then we broke it right here. But another thing that we have here is today's candle is a bullish engulfing hammer. So two candlesticks in one. It's a hammer plus a bullish engulfing candle with some heavy volume. So it may want to disregard this uptrend line. Not really sure, but definitely something that you want to be aware of for a potential pop in the next few days if this hammer candle holds and ends up making that a nice push forward. Next, I want to take a look at DRV. DRV, you can see that we have a nice little W pattern here, or a inverse head and shoulders, whatever you want to call it. It does not really matter. What matters here is that we broke over this resistance here. You can see that once we broke below it, it became resistance several times, getting rejected against that level about 1150, and then yesterday we broke over it with some heavy volume. Today we held still above it. So as long as we hold above 1150, I think that DRV can and will head higher. Another thing that you want to be aware of is this uptrend line right here. So as long as that uptrend line and this 1150 level holds, I think we can head higher on DRV. Next, let's take a look at ETRM. ETRM, a lot of volume came into this stock today. You can see that we're holding this level about 17 cents. If you're bullish on ETRM, this is a level you really want to hold. So far, we had a gap up on some heavy volume. So most of this volume was earlier in the day, and it was a lot of buying volume, but it did not quite hold. So you want to keep an eye on this because it could kind of go either way, but definitely something that you want to keep an eye on with all of this volume for the next couple days, because it's going to make a move in either direction. I know that's pretty vague, but it can make a big move, something that can be traded in both directions. Next, let's take a look at FLDM. FLDM, you can see here that we bounced off of a support that we bounced off of several times before in recent history. Another thing that we did, we not only bounced off of this level, but we also had a really big volume day right here with a bullish engulfing candle right here. So we've got a gap up here that may want to fill. That gap is right up here around 1070 or so, 1070 from the close of this candle right here. So just be aware, a lot of volume, a bullish engulfing candle. We could see higher prices on FLDM. Next, let's take a look at FTR. FTR, let me delete all these drawings. FTR right here, we had a big volume day right here. You can see that MACD is trending down. And you can also see that we broke some support right here. You can see that it bounced off of it several times, and then we're breaking below it right here. So about 480 is going to be resistance, 480 is going to be that resistance level that you may want to look for shorts against. Next support that I'm seeing isn't until about 450. So 480 resistance, 450 support. Be aware of what's going on with this chart. We've also got a downtrend line right here that you want to pay attention to. Rejection, 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 rejection. Again here, and we haven't had a touch yet. And as you can see, we're making these lower lows. So high volume right here as we're breaking support. Most likely FTR is going to be heading lower. Next, I want to take a look at Gman, Gman. What I want to notice here, what I want you to notice here is the pickup in volume. You can see that a lot of volume has been coming in and out of the stock here. This is something that you want to keep an eye on. Could be accumulating, could be selling, but what you want to look for is a break over about 126 to about 130. So 130 would really solidify this move higher if we do end up getting it. Something that you just want to keep an eye on with all this volume that's coming into this stock. So keep it on watch. Next, I want to look at Gtxi. Gtxi, this is a really nice pattern. We broke over this downtrend line. You can see how many rejections we got up here. And then finally we broke over it yesterday with a big pop in volume. And again today we had a retest, a perfect retest of 55 cents, and then a break higher. We broke over another resistance level here. And this is just a mini resistance. You can see right here, rejection, rejection, rejection against that 62 level. So more than likely we're going to see higher prices here on Gtxi. A lot of volume is coming into this stock, so just be aware of what's going on with this chart. Next, let's take a look at Hsgx. And this is kind of just something I wanted to review, a pattern here. I posted a video on it a while ago, but this is just a beautiful pattern here. Broke over this downtrend line. Look at how many rejections and how clean this downtrend line was. Okay, and then over here we've got a shorter term downtrend line. I'm going to zoom in here so you can see it better. Right here, look at how many rejections, rejections. So we broke over this first short-term downtrend line right there, and then we broke over the longer-term downtrend line right here on this candle right here, as well as over this resistance. Next, we had some increase in volume as well. You can see there was about 120,000 shares traded on this day right here, which was about 5 times the average right here. So definitely something that you want to be looking for. It squeezed tight Bollinger Bands, and it gave you an opportunity to enter in right here. So something that you want to be aware of for future setups. Next, let's take a look at Lptn. And Lptn, I've been watching this one for a while. You can see here that we saw a big jump in volume. You can see we saw a big jump in volume right here as well, and again right here. Both cases, you can see we tried to break over this resistance about $2.11. In both cases, we were not able to close over that. So you can tell that this is a big level. Here we tried to break over it. Here, 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 here. So we've got a box right here between about 170 and 211. So be aware of that, because a break of either side of the box should see a big move in either direction. Next, let's take a look at Mbii. Okay, so Mbii, right here we had a resistance break over here. This is yesterday. We saw a nice pop in volume. Again, we have a nice pop in volume today, and we're coming up to a big level of resistance. You can see that we got rejected at it today at about 180. You can see This was former support. This was big support. Big support. And you can see that by the volume by price bar. That's this gray bar going across the screen right here. And that's just another great way to use or to see support and resistance. If you don't know what volume at price is, it means that this is how many shares were traded at a particular price. So when a lot of volume has been traded at a particular price, it becomes support or resistance. So now that we are below this volume by price bar, it is big resistance. So just be aware that if you're long on Mbii, we've had a nice run from 80 cents all the way up to 180 up here, but be aware that this is huge resistance. Not saying we can't overcome it, just saying that it's something that you need to be aware of if you are trading or investing in Mbii. Next, I want to take a look at Scyx. Scyx had a nice gap up with extremely heavy volume right here. We had a nice hammer candle right here, and we can look for support around 228. So 228 is going to be that support level that you want to look for a bounce. If that doesn't hold, I would be slightly concerned, but definitely something that you want to keep an eye on. Another thing that you want to keep an eye on is this uptrend line that we have right here. So it could want to come down here, fill that gap right here from the close of yesterday's candle. That gap is right around 205, 206 dollars right here. And we have that uptrend line. So between 228, 206, I'm expecting a potential bounce there. So just be aware of that. Next, let's take a look at STM. And STM, no surprise that we are seeing some consolidation to the downside here. I know that it's a potential merger is going on, keyword being potential. But again here, with the volume at price bar, this is the biggest one. So this is where the most volume has been traded on STM. You can see that very clearly. You can see how many touches we had over here on the underside. So this was big support right here, and then we broke below that. So no surprise that we're at least seeing some consolidation to the downside after running into that resistance. Next, I want to take a look at Tbbk. Tbbk, something that you want to be aware of. First of all, we've got this downtrend line that if it does end up popping, we're going to have to contend with right around 560, 550. Another thing that you want to be aware of is this support right around 480. Nice support level, and as you can see, a lot of volume coming into the stock right here. I believe that Tbbk is going to at least test that 550 level. A lot of volume, some of the most volume that's been coming into the stock in the last several years. So definitely keep an eye on Tbbk. Thld is the next one I want to look at. As you can see here, we're breaking over this resistance right here and into this gap. Not much resistance in the way until that gap up here. So just be aware of that. We've got support at about 72 cents right here. And then we've got this uptrend line right here. Let me draw that better for you. Okay, so an uptrend line right here from these lows right here. Bounce, bounce, bounce. And that's going to line up perfectly with that 72 support. So we've got a support around 70 to 60 cents on this Thld. We're above this resistance right here. I think that Thld, bearing some unforeseen news, I think that Thld is going to be heading higher. I don't see much resistance in the way until about 264. So this could be a nice big runner here. Huge volume coming into the stock. Definitely be on the lookout for Thld to be heading higher. All right, guys, thank you for stopping by. Appreciate it as always. Remember, if you're not already a member, you can choose either the monthly access or the lifetime access. It's a great opportunity to make money in the market. We'll see you over there.